Hello and welcome back to another fight or flight video. In this video, we will be going over taxiway and takeoff with the Boeing 787. We will also be using a flight director, which is essential if you're ever inexperienced with a simulator. Now, let's get on with this video. Hello and welcome back to another fight or flight video. If you haven't watched my last video, I'd recommend you watch it now since it links up to this video. And to those of you who have watched my last video, welcome back. And now let's get started with the next phase of the flight from Boston to Schiphol, Amsterdam, which is taxiing and runway takeoff. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that after being pulled out, your parking brake is disengaged. We will also be using a flight director that will help us navigate through the airport. Flight director can be activated by simply tapping on an arrow pointing down on top of your screen. Once you press that icon, it'll show many things like fuel load management and radio frequencies. And among all of that, you will find a pilot's icon, which will show you all the things that the flight director can do, including AI piloting and markers that will show you the way to your runway. Okay, now we have reached the runway. I decided not to do taxiing since with the flight director is already too simple. So again, first thing you want to do, make sure your parking brake is disengaged. And now we wait for clearance. So you may have to go to ATC just to confirm. Yes, now since we are cleared for takeoff, I'd recommend turning on your autopilot. Ooh, one last thing I forgot to mention. The purple line over here marks the path you should be going on. And it says our heading is 331. And depending on what your heading is, or simply where you are facing, you will have to adjust your heading on the autopilot panel. Now, I'd recommend keeping the autopilot heads-up display up at the moment, since we won't be needing it. Now make sure your flaps are retracted, and you can go on to, where's the camera? There we go, camera. Go on to the camera icon, go to external, and you will see that our flaps are retracted. So now that that's confirmed, go back to the cockpit and you can proceed with takeoff. Now be sure to put it at full throttle, since you need all the boost you can get to get off the runway. Once you've gained a certain amount of speed, you will hear an AI voice saying something sort of sounding like 3-1, and that says you have enough speed to take off. And we will hear it here in a second. There we go. And now that we've taken off, we still need to gain some altitude before retracting our landing gear. And let's see now. Ooh, have to turn off the autopilot. Well, the APU, I meant to say.
Boston Tower, Boeing Alpha Sierra X-Ray 787 continue for north departure. Boston Tower, Boeing Alpha Sierra X-Ray 787 at runway tree left ready for departure to the north.
And now we can retract our landing gear and retract our flaps. Let's see, now you can put in the heads-up display.
Boeing 787 leaving my airspace, frequency change approved.
Now
Boston
our autopilot
Alpha, Sierra,
is
X-ray
activated.
787 frequency change.
And do not be worried
Boston
if your plane
Boeing Alpha, Sierra,
looks like
X-ray
this.
787 is type Boeing B-78X 4 miles northwest of Boston, 1,900 feet. Request clearance to transition Bravo airspace. Boeing Alpha Sierra X-ray 787 Boston approach. Squawk 0316. Squawk 0316 Boeing 787. Boeing 787 radar contact 5 miles northwest of Boston, 2,800 feet. Cleared through the Bravo airspace. Cleared through the Bravo airspace, Boeing 787. Boeing 787 contact Boston approach on 124.4. Good day. 124.4 for Boeing 787.
And yes,
Boston
as you
approach
just
Boeing
saw,
Alpha Sierra X-ray 787 2,900 feet. Boeing Alpha Sierra X-ray 787 Boston approach altimeter 30.31 continue as planned.
okay, now if you look over here, there's a heading button. So first you click it with left mouse, then you click it again. While still holding down left mouse, you also click the right mouse. That way your plane can, well, your autopilot can confirm, yes, this is where I have to go. And as we can see here, our main route is, we're sort of veering off from our main route. So what we would want to do, as you would notice on the map, there's a small dotted line over here. And this is the line that our plane will follow. So now, we'll just have to keep adjusting it as we go. So now, if we continue to go to where the dotted line is, we will go right into the path, which is exactly what we want. And let's see, set our IAS to recommended 300, but for now I'll keep it at 250. Thank you for watching my video. In the next video we will be going over descent and landing, which will show our final stages of the whole flight. To those of you who haven't subscribed, do subscribe now. And I should also mention that I'm now giving out shoutouts. So the first 5 people to comment will get shoutouts. Thank you for watching.